treatment. You're going to look your mom in the eye and spit in her face and say, sorry, Mom, I'd rather just stay here rent-free and use drugs. I'm not saying she's going to kick you out. What do you think she's going to do? You know, we slowly start to do that. You have to give them the consequence of their lifestyle choice. And the hardest thing for a mother is that you have a maternal instinct. Moms, it's always the hardest because you had them for 9 extra months. The maternal instinct is stronger than anything I've got. Maternal instinct says to protect and nurture. And you will do it. I'll tell you a story to give you how my mother was killing me. It'll be a quick story. 3 minutes? Perfect. Here's the story, and I'll leave with this. I work a lot. Okay? So let's say, as ridiculous as this sounds, when I'm done here, I'm going to drive back to Chicago, and I'm not going to work for a year. I'm kind of grandiose. I'm all or nothing, so this is what I'm going to do. It makes a whole lot of sense to me. I'm taking a year off. I'm done. Whew. Not only that, I'm going to climb up in my room, and I've got a nice TV, and I've got a lot of books I like to read. And I'm going to climb up in bed, and I'm not leaving bed for a year. I'm going to lay in my bed for a year. This sounds like an awesome idea. I'm not only going to take it easy, I'm really going to take it easy. I'm going to lay in bed. I'm going to make the appropriate phone calls because apparently people have to change me or something like that. So I'm going to hire some home health care workers to come visit me once a day. This sounds ridiculous, but I'm thinking it's a great idea. And I'm going to hire some people to come and drop me off some food. Feed me. There you go. This sounds like an awesome idea. I've got enough money to last a year. So I'm going to do this. 3 months from now, if you know anything about people that are bedridden, my muscles are going to begin to atrophy. I'm going to get weaker. Right? I'm going to get skinnier. 6 months, heart rate, respiration, blood pressure is going to go down. If I tried to get up out of bed, there's a good chance I could faint. Oop. 9 months. If I tried to get out of bed after 9 months of staying in that bed without moving, I will not be able to go across the room. Period. A year. A year goes by, my mother who hasn't seen me, and this is where the story is really a lie because my mother would be there in like a month. Where have you been, David? She hasn't seen me in a year, though, in my story. She comes up the stairs and she opens the door. Oh my goodness, David. Look at you. Look at how weak you look. Look at how pale and scrawny you are. Oh my goodness. So my mother comes over and she sees me with a bowl of soup, my hand trembling as I bring it to my lips. And she says, oh, look at how weak you are, David. So she sits at my bedside and she says, David, put your arm down, I'll feed you. And the one muscle that I had left that I was using, I put on my side. And my mother gives me attention, love, nutrition, help, and she begins to feed me. She's taken away the one I had left, doesn't she? You know? And you know what she'll do? She'll pray that maybe tomorrow I figure it out. She'll pray that maybe tomorrow I have the strength to walk across the room. She'll pray that maybe tomorrow the universe will rearrange itself in some way as to give me the idea that I could one day walk across that room. You know what my mother needs to do? She needs to take the bowl and put it across the room and step away. Watch me crawl. It's the only way to get me stronger again, isn't it? That's kind of what you have to do. That's the analogy. The difference between feeling better and getting better. And it doesn't matter what he says, it only matters what he does. Watch what he does. Is he confronting uncomfortable life situations and walking through it in a healthy manner, using a support group, friends, church, a faith, AA, NA, counselor? Doesn't matter. Because that's the only way you get stronger. Strength by facing adversity. Strength by facing adversity. That's how I got stronger. It's the only way I did. You can't help him to do it. You can't hold his hand. Don't invalidate him. Don't kick him. David said you need to feel uncomfortable, you jerk. But I think you get what I mean. Yeah. Give him the gift of feeling the consequences of his lifestyle choice. Does he have a car? No. Because you're picking him up, right? He does have a car. Okay, cool. Number one. Does he have a TV? Drug addicts don't have TVs, so there's a video game, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there are some, if he chooses to live in your house, he's what, 21? 20. Game over. You're an adult. Two choices. See, you think your son has chosen drugs over you. Or you think your son has chosen drugs over a life, drugs over school, or drugs over work. He's never once chosen drugs over any of that. He's always chosen both. So now you have to make a decision. If you want to do this recovery thing, I will support you. But if you don't, that's cool too. But I am not going to walk down that path with you. You're on your own on that one. And he'll kick and scream and flip the suicide button because it worked once. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I'm glad that you called the authorities on that one. You may very well have taught him not to do it again. You know, that's the reason I only have one scar. If I had done it to my mother, though, I'd have like 30, because she would have crumbled. I did it to my father. My father was like, sorry you did that, but yeah. My dad was a combat vet. He's like, well, if you want, I'll give you a ride to the hospital, but which was the best thing you could have done. But in honesty, you should contact the authorities in the event of a suicide threat. You have to take it seriously. And no family member is qualifying to deal with a truly suicidal person. They'll put them in for psych eval, usually 24 to 72. I don't know what your state is. So. Does this kind of help you a little bit? It's hard, though. Your instinct is going to flare. You know? I guess the question before you leave is, do you love your son enough that you are willing to temporarily hurt him in order to help him? You say yes, but that's what's going to come down to. Do you love your son enough that you're willing to temporarily allow him to be hurt in order to help himself? You know, if the fire gets hot enough, the dog will move. Why would he change his life? He has the kind of life right now that you are working your butt off to achieve. Free house, free stuff, all this stuff. Why would he change it? I wouldn't. Change it for him. Change the system that surrounds him. Give him the consequences. It'll be brutal. It's weird because when families call me during what we call tough love stage like that, and you can take one of my cards, you can call me every 15 minutes with questions. I'll give you all the advice in the world. Okay? Families call me and they're like, oh my goodness, he rejected treatment. He's outside sleeping in the driveway. And I'm like, is it raining? No! I hope it does. You know, he's got nowhere to go. Thank you, good. You know, sometimes God has a way of rearranging the universe a little bit and removing the things that are blocking us from getting recovered. They did for me. Sleeping outside is terrible. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Very nice. Yeah, call me. Mm-hmm. There's no stupid questions, so. Well, I did. There's three types of substance abusers. There's the casual or social, hard drinker, and an addict. How do you tell an addict? If somebody's experiencing negative consequences as a result of their using and they still continue using, it's a pretty good indicator. You know, somebody that isn't would quit. There are periods of our lives where you were the party girl, you were the party guy, and smoking a lot of pot, or I had a cocaine period, you know, or whatever, and they quit. Not so with me. Any other questions? Oh, yes.
How hard is it when you're explaining the process to your family that they have to come to grips with the reality that there's probably something within this family unit that is not right, whether it is you're talking about disconnect, a disconnect between, parents or something, and you say that you are part of the problem in that you've not done some correct things and they have become disconnected. I would imagine the walls just go up. Because this really isn't
family day. That's
Yeah.
the first
That's
day of
what
the
I was wondering.
intervention.
Well, here's the thing. Number one, you never say you. You say we, my family, I. Yeah, you want somebody to go into guards up, you tell them you. How hard is it? Well, here's the deal. The stronger the emotional connection to an addict, the higher the enabling, and the harder it is to see objectively the situation.